Hello and welcome to the Radio Scilly video news. Sign up to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Radio Scilly for updates on what's happening around the islands and video reports featuring the people and places you know. Our video report is brought to you in association with Truro and Penwith College. Read about courses and opportunities online and watch the building of the new Penwith campus at truro-penwith.ac.uk. Sign up to the Scilly Lottery and you've a 1 in 2,000 chance of winning £1,000. You can play if you live on the mainland. It helps keep Radio Scilly on air and funds good causes around the islands. Read more at scillylottery.com.
The Scilly Lottery, thecillylottery.com.
So you're going to need to raise, as we know from Tresco and Bry, quite a bit of money to do this. When does the fundraising start, and have you got any special ideas?
Well, I mean, we're going to start as soon as possible. We're hoping this year to do some more beach fundraising events. One of them particularly this year will probably be in August, and that will be celebrating the 180th birthday of both the Slipper and the Bonnet. So we'll probably be having a band down there, barbecue, very similar to the beach event we had last year, and that was really good for our fundraising efforts, and we'll hope to do that again on hopefully a very sunny day.
That's a lot of work fundraising for a new gig. You've got gigs to upkeep already.
Yep.
So why have you decided this needs to be done?
Well, like I said before, it's just to support the club, to keep juniors interested and to just facilitate movement of the club into the future. You know, it's great to see all our old boats out there, and we wouldn't wish it any other way, but it just means that we'll have that competition edge and be able to get out there and compete.
And was it a no-brainer to choose Peter Martin?
Oh, absolutely. You know, you've got to give the business to the local boat builder, and he's just built a fantastic new gig for Briar. He's in the middle of doing renovations on the Sarika, and yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Any suggestions on a name?
Not yet, no. I think it's something that we will look at as we get nearer the time.
And is this all in line with being more competitive against mainland crew?
Absolutely, yes, and I mean it will be available for inter-island races as well, but mainly when we have the competitive boats included, because domestic races tend to be the older boats that we use.
What's going to happen with the Islander?
We don't know as yet. I mean, obviously she's for sale at the moment, but we'll just wait and see there.
Why do you feel as if it's time to pass her on?
At the moment she isn't used for domestic racing, and she's a little old unfortunately for competitive racing, and we've been using her in the last few years for juniors, which we will continue to do should she stay within the islands, or sorry, on St Mary's, but hopefully, you know, she'll go to a nice home where they're able to use her on a regular basis.
Now there are some people that, for understandably emotive reasons, because it was Tom Chudley's last gig built, don't want to see her leave the islands. Have you had any representation from them?
No, not as yet, and I can understand their point of view. I mean, any gig that we sell on is going to have some sort of emotive respect to somebody, and it is a shame, but, you know, we have to move forward.
There's an assumption, I suppose, with people that don't want her to go, that she's going to leave the islands, but, I mean, is there anything to stop somebody putting in an offer if they wanted to buy the gig to keep her on in Scilly?
Well, no, you know, obviously there's nothing to stop anybody buying her should they want to.
Has anybody expressed interest?
Not to me personally, no.
Exciting is that from the road what you see is the hall with the workspace.
What did you make of the session then?
Really interesting. Some the sort of detail of the thoughts that we've had so far been clarified a bit more, and I think it's just a really exciting project. I just can't wait to get it off the ground.
What do you reckon the most demand is for? Is it for the workspaces, or sorting out some kind of community hall that can be used for different things?
I think the driving force behind it in the first place was certainly the craft units, because there are a lot of us without adequate space at home. And it was then working out somewhere on the island that it would make least impact visually, probably. And then when the site next to the Island Hall was discussed, I think all of us then felt that it could be this fantastic combined project to bring this building back to life, because at the moment it really isn't fit for any of the things that we try to do in it.
And is everybody, to use that dreadful term, sort of singing from the same hymn sheet about what they want from this on the island?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, we had some really good discussions at the very beginning when we had lots of different ideas, and it was one of those ideas, it got too big and we were going to rule the world from it, and then we sort of wound back a bit, and I think now it's looking like a really workable project. And I think that incorporating the renovation of this old building will be just a real benefit to the workspace as well, in, you know, having a fantastic space that we could use for, you know, exhibiting stuff, or actually we haven't talked about exhibiting, but in terms of parties and weddings, and being able to use the facilities that the new part would give us.
Islanders have turned out in force for the most successful ever coffee morning for a good cause. That's how organisers of the Help for Heroes event on Bank Holiday Monday described the turnout of over 200 visitors and residents at the Wheelhouse at Porthcressa. The appeal helps raise cash for service personnel injured while on active duty. Liz Hesling says she's never known such a turnout for an event which brought in £1,200 over 2 hours.
It's the best coffee morning we've ever had.
And you've had quite a few over the years, haven't you? Excellent.
Neville's mum reckons at least a couple of hundred people.
Wow.
Liz's sister Alison Gardner joined her to say they were definitely on for more events.
We might do a supper, don't we, in the autumn? Sort of probably a ladies' night, because they tend to be quite good fun.
Well, we did the pink night, didn't we? Last winter, and we raised nearly £900, didn't we? So if we do a similar sort of thing at the Wheelhouse, we
hope to make similar amount of money.
Yeah.
Pauline and Kenneth Jackson Cocking said they felt strongly about the appeal cause and were delighted to go along.
This must be the best attended coffee morning I've ever been to on the islands. Excellent.
Why do you think people feel so strongly about Help for Heroes then?
Oh, because it touches everyone, you see. It touches everyone. And it just shows the amount of feeling there is, which I think is marvellous.
And you bought your raffle tickets, I can see those there.
Yes.
Are you hoping for success, Kenneth?
Well, I don't mind about that. I'm just glad to be here. But I couldn't find my army tie this morning to celebrate. Royal Army Pay Corps, you know. 6 years of that.
We went along and got roped into pulling the raffle tickets. Plenty of items were donated.
No, it's been really first class.
Green ticket 165 Duffing. The Wheelhouse.
Alison Gardner said one visitor found the fundraising particularly poignant.
Yeah, one of the ladies that was here actually lives in Wootton Bassett, and she was describing to me the ambience, if you like, in Wootton Bassett now, and how everything just goes quiet, and she was very pleased to see that the Help for Heroes was being supported here on the islands.